on stream?
Probably 6 months ago in December.
Yeah, I spoke to him on he joined Nick's stream the other day, right when I went on with Nick.
Oh yeah,
Perry, yeah, did you get to see that, man?
yeah, I was here the whole time. It was
Yeah,
pretty.
that was some funny shit, wasn't it, man?
Yeah, that's just. I mean, I don't even. How is he like saying that he didn't lie when they literally showed him lying like about four or
Well,
five times?
yeah, remember that when we were shown the text messages, Perry said that I am not lying, right? I am not lying, even though we literally just proved that he did lie. So it's
Yeah,
amazing. Or when the
I,
other one, when Melvin showed the clip where Perry said that well, I didn't kick Melvin from the stream, but yet he did kick Melvin from the stream. And then Perry sat there and said, well, no, I didn't do it, even though Melvin clearly proved that Perry was lying. He said that Melvin left the stream and that he didn't kick him. But Melvin proved him wrong because he recorded when he was backstage and Perry wouldn't let him on. But then Perry said, well, I kicked him out. You know, he left. He's not here anymore when he clearly wasn't. Then Perry said, well, I'm not lying, even though he literally got proven to be lying. You know, so it's amazing
exactly.
how his followers will just pretend that like this guy can do no wrong. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going through their minds when they see him lying and then him saying that he didn't lie. It's just like, are they brainwashed or like they look normal, but they're brainwashed on the inside.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, it's a damn shame because, you know, he got the minds of these people in a trick bag. And there's, what's this guy have? Like 120 subscribers just about there, which we know at least 50 to 100 people out of that are just subscribe to him so they can make fun of his videos and get a good laugh. Because I'm one of those subscribers, right? And you are
Yeah,
too.
I have about two
Um,
channels subscribed to him for that.
Right, right. But at least he has like what 550 to 600 people at least who are subscribed to him who actually think that they're learning something from this guy. And you know, and that's like that makes me roll around at night on my bed. It's like I think to myself, it's like how stupid could somebody be to actually think they're learning from this guy? I mean, this dummy living in a trailer home, living on disability checks, even though he can clearly work. I mean, it's amazing to me how people could blindly believe this nonsense.
It's that what is it called? Something like a great deception or something. In the verse, I forgot the verse, but it's like they're a great delusion.
Yeah, I believe that's Second Thessalonians 2:11. It says, "For the
Yeah,
Lord to send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie." So yeah, Perry's followers, God put them into a strong delusion that they believed as a dummy. You know, and same thing with Samuel Owen. I mean, I was
because
watching
they're
his stream
willing to.
a few months ago. He was on there with a dude that was literally believing in the things that he was saying. Like they were having a friendly conversation back and forth with one another. The guy was buying into the things Samuel was saying. Say, hey, that God put that dude under a delusion to buy into the doctrine that Samuel's on there saying. I mean, hell,
Exactly.
Samuel's on there saying that he's Jesus Christ. So I mean, that's crazy in itself. But then Perry over here, he's saying he is equal with Christ. I
They're
wonder
they're
what.
bas
Go ahead.
Yeah, they're basically on the same level now that you put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say it's like I wonder what Samuel Owen has to say about that because apparently he's Jesus, right? So what does he think about Perry saying that he is equal to him, right? He's equal to him. I would love to see a conversation between the two after Perry said that. That would be amazing.
That would be funny. Yeah,
Right.
man. I mean, yeah, it'd just be I forgot what it's called. Like just going back and forth, basically. Just going like a just a one way cycle. Not even.
Right, right. It would be amazing. You know, it'd be hell. Even LOP agrees, right? He said it'd be fun. Yeah, you know that'll be outstanding. Hell, I'd even pay to see that conversation. I mean, that'd be my entertainment for a month right there.
Yeah. Or Perry versus Primal Man.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they actually have had a conversation before. I don't know what stream it was on, but I swear I seen them both in the same chat room once before on somebody else's channel. If I can find it, I'll send you the clip to that. That was pretty funny. I believe they were talking about full preterism or something like that.
Yeah, I could believe that they had a conversation. There was because of Mike and stuff. They were pretty. Yeah, there was a few people um exchanging views last year. Yeah, last year.
I mean,
Was it?
hell, at least Harry knows that full preterism is a garbage doctrine. At least he's smart enough to figure that out. So I mean, at
Yeah, he can
least he
debunk that.
knows that. Yo, did you see when he went on with Deacon Sakari? Did you get to see that conversation, man?
Yeah, but I forgot.
Oh man, that that
Like
that
I
was
watched
that
like
was
half.
insane. Yeah, man, that was quality entertainment right there. I mean, Deacon cut his ass to shreds. I mean, that was talk about a spiritual knockout right there. I mean, somebody got to call the ambulance because his ass got laid out cold. I mean, that dude knocked out cold, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it on your Discord, man. It's amazing. I've watched it like 5 times because it's just so funny.
Yeah, I keep rewatching the Dave Flesh Jew versus uh True Jew. That's pretty. That
Hmm.
one's pretty funny.
Send me a link to that one, man. I'm gonna have to check that out.
All right.
Yo, we got hold on a second. We have someone else in the back chat. Let me put up a layer real quick. I believe that's LOP, but we'll let him on for a few minutes.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, LOP? How you
That's
doing,
a
man? Long time no see.
Yeah, I woke up and you were still streaming. I was thinking like, okay, 5 a.m. and then I woke up like 7, so you were still on. So I
Well,
was.
ironically,
Jay said he was on Paris stream. I was, but I did. He already left, right?
yeah, yeah. Now, ironically enough, what happened was I was asleep and I thought I got up too late to do the stream, but I actually got up a little early. But I needed to go out and get myself dinner,
You,
so I
you
had to push the stream back 2 hours. So that's why I'm still alive because I had to push the
okay? So
stream.
you slept during the day, right?
Yeah, I had to sleep during the day because I don't know why the hell I was so
Hmm.
tired. I got 8 hours of sleep the night before, but I
Dude, I do.
still
Yeah,
slept for 6 hours.
me too. I mean, I sleep usually like 6 to 7, sometimes 8, but usually only 7 hours. But yeah, man, I'm usually tired the whole day though. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying, man. I feel like that at times.
It's those Red Bulls, probably.
Yeah, which
No.
to be fair, I cut back. I cut back on how much of them I
Yeah,
consume.
yeah.
So that
I just woke up and I'm drinking Dr Pepper, man, because I just need like a kick of caffeine,
yeah,
uh,
to wake
you
up.
should you should
yeah. I
drink
wanted to get
the
myself
Dude,
down.
can you do Sam Owen like voice impression, like it's the Christian
Oh,
Concavas?
hell, man, I wouldn't be good at doing an impression of that
How
dude,
many
man.
can do that? I mean, he's one of the guys that
Christian
used to react.
Concavas.
Yeah,
Yo, you remember that
Christian
clip,
Concavas.
LOP? You remember that clip from when me and Jay were talking to Samuel for like one of the first times we had the interaction,
Oh, with the
and what happened?
sword,
Yeah, he grabbed a
dude.
long broom and a sword and said, "Well, I am the Jesus, the Christ, living on high holy hill in New Jerusalem. You all must
I
bow
just
before me."
Yeah, I just actually shared it's an old clip, and I shared it in Jay's Discord. That for the first time when Sam said like, if you want to meet the real Pope, he lives on a holy hill in England, referring to himself. And that's old. Like it's like probably 2020 or
Right.
yeah, it's a
Seems
old.
like it's still 2020.
Yeah, dude. Like for me, for me, this is all 2020. Like I don't even like last year for me it was 2019. These years fucking all blend together after.
Yeah, but
You know
I
what I
mean
mean?
that's just how I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
It's
it's like
all
yesterday.
one. Yeah, it's all downhill from here. It's like all these events keep taking place. It's like what boggles my mind. The amount of shit that's happened in the last couple of years. Like I remember when I was growing up, man, which I'm only 21, so I haven't been around too long. But when I was growing up, say 10, 11 years ago, you didn't have this stuff going on every single day. Like if you turn on the news, it wasn't a mass casualty event happening every other day. This is all new. This is all happening since like 2020 is when this all
Yeah,
started
yeah.
picking up, rate. You know what I'm saying? And it proves we're in the end times. I don't know how any idiot could go around and believe that this is the
But
kingdom next to them right now. It's astonishing.
I don't know, man. Like I'm much older than you, but
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like with the 2012, I was like, dude, this might be it because like back you were too young back then, but man, like
I was,
everybody
I
was
was,
talking about it.
I
Uh,
was, well, I remember I was 10 years old in 2012. I
yeah,
remember
but like
exactly that.
that's too young to really, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I was familiar with some of the end of the world stuff, that people were saying. Like I remember there
And
was a
did you
news.
like buy into that or
Well, I'll say
I kind of did, you know, to be honest with you,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
little
back
bit.
back then, yeah, back then, I did believe that there could be something to it that the world could end in 2012. It
Yep.
wasn't as extreme as some other people. Like there was one story I remember back from the news what happened in 2012, right? The day they said the world was going to end. There was a woman who was so convinced that the world was about to end. She she stole a school bus and she kidnapped people from the street and made forced them to stay inside the school bus to save them from the end of the world. I mean, it's some crazy shit like that, man. But she was
Oh,
so convinced. It happened over here in the states.
oh, yeah. I haven't heard that. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, with the I remember they like people were talking about since like 2008 it started blowing up, maybe even 2007 people started talking about 2012 and all that on YouTube. And yeah, it was you know, back then in like 2008, I think around that time I was still kind of, but like towards 2012 I was like, it's probably nothing's gonna happen, you know. But maybe in the beginning, like 2008, 2009, I
I
was
was
kind of
in
like
I was
believing
in
that,
Yeah, I'm
preschool.
pretty
I
sure they
was in
made a movie
preschool
about
in
it.
2008.
yeah, well, I'm old, you know. I'm fucking grandpa compared to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I hear you, man. Like
Well, yeah,
the
2008
whole
you were like what, like 4 or no, 5,
um
6?
Yeah,
all I remember is I found like my preschool. I found like a note from there the other day. I was looking for the storage, and it said it was from like 2008 that I graduated from there. So because where I'm at, you go to school a few
Wait,
years later.
graduated from preschool? What? That's a thing?
Yeah. ho- Uh, what I'm saying is like when you graduate from it, like move on to first grade, they
Move
do
on
like a
to yeah, move
celebration.
on to school. Yeah.
Yeah, well, out here, I don't know when you start to go to school where you're at, but over here you have to wait an extra like year or two
Well,
free. It's a little
the
weird.
thing, yeah, well, here the thing is that the preschool is actually not mandatory. So I went
Right.
there, but for like only a half a year because we were uh moving from one part of the city to another. So I kind of didn't really go until
Yeah,
like a few months before the real school. So yeah, I don't
yeah, I
remember
hear.
much from that time. So
yeah,
Right, right, I hear.
they popularized the world ending with the movie.
in the oh yeah, dude, that was a big thing when
Oh,
it
yeah,
came out
you
in
got you
2012.
guys talking about the
The
movie
movie,
2000.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one. I've seen that a couple
I like
times.
that movie actually,
Yeah,
and I think it's an you know, interesting
I got another
disaster
one for
movie.
you. You ever seen the movie called what was this called? The Day After Tomorrow? You
The
ever
day
seen that?
after, I was gonna say that, dude. That's even
Yeah,
probably better.
yeah,
That's a
that's a
great
great.
apocalyptic movie. Yeah,
What
the Ice
about
Age, right?
yeah, yeah, where the whole world like freezed
I like
over and there
that.
was only a few survivors. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, it
great
was.
movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Agreed.
What about you ever see Geostorm?
Uh,
Look
not
that
Geostorm.
up. It's
sure.
a good one. It
Geo.
came out. Yeah, it came out in 2015, I believe, and it's about like how the government they can control the weather. In this movie, they
Oh,
had like a satellite that was
The
called
harp
like
or
a
whatever it's
geostorm or
called.
something, and there's something that went wrong with the
sonic
satellite.
heaters.
So it would send all type of natural disasters all over the world. It's a great movie. Look it
Oh
up.
wait, it says okay, 2017. It says Geostorm.
Maybe
So
it
it's
came out.
a newer,
Maybe
newer movie.
it came out.
It was
Maybe it
probably like a
came out like a
reiteration.
few years ago.
Yeah, it's the ratings are horrible. Only 5 stars out of 10. So
Yeah, some people didn't like it, but I thought it was a pretty decent movie, in my opinion.
I kind of stopped watching all the new movies, and by new I mean after like 2010. So for
Right.
me, I you know,
Yeah, they don't
almost
make
movies
too
like
many.
Day After Tomorrow is older, right? That's like what, isn't it like 2005 or something?
It's something like that, early
Yeah, so
2000.
I kind of, after the 2012 movie, I kind of actually didn't even see it back then. I waited until like 2015 to watch 2012 because well, I had this one. My sister's classmate. She was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch it," and she was like, "I'm gonna watch it, in 2013 to laugh at all you guys who believe that." Or something like that. So I was like,
Well,
I didn't even want to
another
watch it
reason.
either back then.
Well, there was another reason why people thought the world would end in 2012. It had to do with the Mayan calendar. Are you familiar with
Mm.
that?
Yeah, but that's a wrong
Yeah, yeah. It was a wrong. It was a
calculation. That
wrong.
it's a wrong. Yeah,
Yes,
it's not
it was.
actually that year.
Yes, it was a wrong year, but at the time they didn't know that.
Yeah, the real year is supposedly like 2040 or 40 or something. I just from some people that are talking about it right now, but some people even speculate. It's not even like, some people even set another date or so. I don't know. I didn't look into it
Hell,
that deep.
it's like
You know,
LP. It reminds me of these dudes setting these rapture dates, right? It's like everybody has their own
dude,
date at
oh my god, it's like there was supposed to be another one, September 23rd, right?
oh
Because of
shit!
the.
I just
Did you
spoke
know
about
about
that.
that?
Movie. I just do I know about that? I literally just spoke about that earlier on the stream, man. About
I
September
was sorry,
20th.
I was asleep.
Yeah,
I had, but
that's
yeah, that's a big one right now.
yeah. Let me comment on it real quick. Let me comment on that. I said it before, but I'll say it for anyone tuning in now. As far as September the 23rd, I remember. Hey, look, back when I was 12 or 13, like 8 years ago, I remember being in school and I come home and watch some of these videos, like trooper videos. These guys talking about, well, something big's gonna happen on September the 23rd, and year after year after
Hmm.
year, and nothing happens. But one of the big theories they had, well, some people thought the rapture could happen on that day. But one of the main leading theories on it is it had to do with CERN, right? And they were with this hadron collider. They called it, they were gonna like open a veil from the other side to bring deities like demons or whatever from that
Oh
side to our side. That was one of the big ideas people had on September 23rd.
well, from my knowledge, I mean, I've been watching this one channel, and they talk about, it's about the constellation or some kind of the
Well,
Revelation 12 sign or
yeah,
something.
that's another one. That's a whole
Yeah,
nother
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Because once again, let me say this: there's like 100 different beliefs people have of a certain event or multiple events that could happen on that day. Once again, some people believe it's a alignment of the moon and the stars with Revelation 12. Some believe it's
Yeah,
the rapture.
that's the
Some
one I
believe
heard.
some believe it's has to do with CERN. Again, there's 100 different beliefs. It just depends on who you're talking to. But that day is significant in their ideology.
Yeah, for sure. Because and I actually see their point, because it's in many, the predictive programming in many movies and TV shows. You have the September 22nd and 3rd is like in so many movies that it's insane. So it has. I mean, I also I think it has some significance, but not like Rapture. Maybe some big event
Probably like
taking place on that day, because like in Lost, if you know that show, that's when the plane crashes. And it's so many other, like the number 23, the
Yeah.
Jim Carrey movie. And
Real quick, how many seasons is Lost? Because
six
I've
six
seen the
seasons.
entire. Let me say this: I've seen the entire first season. I own the second season, but I haven't. I stopped watching it because it was back in 2019. So
Oh,
I want
dude,
to.
you have to. I mean, that's my favorite show of all time. I've told this to Rudy to watch it, and I think he did. I'm not sure, Rudy. Did you? But I
wait, what?
told you, bro, it's like the my favorite show of all time, and I'm actually rewatching. I'm on season 3 right now, and
Oh
dude, this
yeah,
show is like, it has everything you want from a TV show. It's a mystery. It's a action. It has, a sci-fi later on in season 4,
Yeah,
like kind
yeah.
of going. It's
I
crazy
enjoyed the
good,
first
bro,
season.
and the acting too is pretty great. Uh,
Right.
it's so good, bro. And with the numbers, and there's so much symbolism too. It's I would recommend it to anybody. It's just, it's weird because I talked to some other guy about it. He's a flat earther, and he's like, oh, I tried watching Lost, and it's like psychological abuse. Like, it's like, dude, this you're soft. Like, what? It's like a bitch shit to say like, oh, I cannot watch it because it's psychologically abusing. Like that guy is the same too. I
Yeah,
forgot what he was like, one of those, Brian Oakley, or what's his name? Nathan
Brian Stevens.
Oakley. No,
Oh yeah, I
Nathan
know.
Oakley. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's from his camp, and he's kind of uh just rambling on about flat Earth every day and stuff. And I asked him about the Lost, and he gave this kind of like weird, like wimpy response. So I was like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, I hear you, man.
yeah, it's
Yo,
for
yo,
me. I
yo,
mean, I
That's
Ellen.
too
agree.
much
It
to
is
say.
psychological abuse. Like, it's psychologically draining if you watch it. But the thing, it's rewarding though. I mean, I feel like me watching it, it gives me, some kind of, on many thoughts and inspiration. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
I get what you're saying.
okay,
I
yeah.
enjoyed the first season. Yo, LOP,
And
man,
it's
did you
actually considered the best of opening season of any show. It's
man,
the
did you get to
pilot
hear?
season.
I don't mean to talk over you, but did you get to see the clip we shared earlier? Maybe I was on my channel like a week or two ago. It was from Perry. He said he's equal with Christ. Did you ever get to see that clip?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. Actually,
What do
I
you
was
think?
there when you originally did that stream, or yeah, yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it, man?
Well, the way he justifies it is that do you know that verse in I forgot which book of the New Testament, but it says like, but God, we thought it's not robbery to think we are equal with God. Or no, it's about Jesus. And be like Christ, who thought it not to be robbery to be equal with God. So I mean, you can kind of see his point, because he said, Paul is saying, I think it's Paul. Paul is saying, Jesus thought it's not a robbery to be equal with God. I might be butchering this verse, but can
Yeah,
I
I'm
pull it
not
up? I
familiar.
could
Yeah,
be able
you
to
can
find
if
it.
you find it, you
Uh,
can pull it.
okay. So then let's look at it, because I think there is something to it though. Um, Hold on. What is robbery? Uh,
Wait, so
thinking.
let me get it straight. So you think that Perry might have a point when he said that he's equal with Christ?
Well, let's just look at the verse, and then I think
Yeah, yeah. If you
we
find it, you
can
can
we
pull
can
it up.
look into it. And who being in the okay,
Let me say this real quick.
Philippians.
Hold on.
It's in Philippians chapter 2, verse
Do you
6.
want to share? Do you want to share your screen or no? You can just read
Sure,
it if
sure,
you
yeah, so that everybody can see that I'm not making shit up.
want.
Uh,
Okay.
share
But real
screen.
quick, before you do that, let me just ask this stuff, just so I make sure it's not a double standard from your end. If the horror was to say that he's equal with Christ, would you say that he has a point too?
Uh, Hey,
Well, I don't
dude,
think he's.
that just reminded me, because a long time ago, it was like a year ago, you sent me a Tahar video, and I commented like, Tahar is God, just trolling. But
Yeah.
but somebody commented like, no, Tahar is awesome servant of God, but he's not God. It was funny, man. So yeah, so you see the verse, but maybe I
Yeah.
should pull it up in context, because that's better. So let's read from verse 4. Look, not every man on his own things, but every man on also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. So it's saying that we should have the mind of Christ, all right? And who, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. So what he's saying, like what Perry's justification is, that we should have the mind of Christ, who
Well,
thought it not to be
the way
equal
I
with
look
God
at
is not like a robbery, or how
Yeah,
do
it's
you
saying.
explain that verse, EDT?
okay, okay, let me give me a second, because I
The
don't know if you guys
exegesis.
can't hear me, because when I go to speak LP, you talk over me, so it might just be a connection problem on your end, but that's all right.
Oh,
I was
sorry,
gonna
man.
say,
Yeah, it's probably
no,
like a.
that's okay. But I was gonna say the way I understand the verse is it's saying when it says our mind should be like Christ, it's saying that we should be teaching the same thing that he teaches, right? Our heart, our mind should be in the same place that he's teaching. Say, for an example, when we look at his teachings, let's use a good example how Christ taught to keep the law. So, me, as someone who claims to believe, my mind should be in the same place that I need to live by those commandments that Christ said. That would be an example of my mind being as his mind. But when it says, read the last part again, where it says that Christ was equal with the Father.
Who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
Right. Now, I'd respond and say, well, in this example, it's talking about how Christ was like all his power he had on the earth was given to him by the Father, right? It was given to him by the Father, and so that's what it means when it says he was equal with God. It doesn't literally mean he and God are the same, because we know that
But
the
see,
Son is slightly different.
yeah,
Go.
what Perry would say is that, well, the text says what it says.
But here's the problem, though.
You're
Here's the
adding
problem.
into to it, or
Where does it say? Oh, hold on a
Context.
second. Let's use hypothetical argument. Let's just, for argument's sake, it says Christ is equal with God. Let's just say that. So how does that now mean me or Perry or anybody else could now be equal with Christ? Where does it say someone else could be added in with that equalness?
yeah, well, it says, didn't Jesus say, be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is in perfect, which God, that is God. So
But that was talking about, like, what does it mean to be perfect? It means to live your life regarding to what God commanded. Because how do we show our love
yeah,
towards God? First John
well,
chapter
love
5.
one another, and right, that's the
The
main
Bible.
commandment.
Let
Love.
me let me comment real quick. The Bible says, First John chapter 5 verse 3, the way we show our love towards God is by keeping His commandments. And Perry completely doesn't do that, so he's
What
disqualified.
verse is that?
First John chapter 5 verse 3.
Okay, I can pull it up. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments, and His commandments are not grievous.
Right, right. So somebody, say for
Uh,
example, if I'm out and I see a Christian teaching the Bible, I might ask them, "Do you love God?" If they say yes, I'll ask them, "Well, how do you define that?" Then they'll tell me, "Oh, well, I help other people." But then I'd say, "Well, wait a second. But what about all the other commandments?" So, if they're not following those, well, they're not actually showing their love towards God, because if they were, they'd live their life in line with those laws and those statutes that the Most High has set up.
yeah, I would agree. Like, you have Christians that they claim to love God, but yet they say a prayer and eat pork chops and
Right.
shrimps.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of funny.
Like, say for an example, man. Let me give you an example.
Say for
I
an
went,
Acts 12.
I went the other day to a food bank, right, to get a couple things for the cupboard, right. And while I was there, I was looking at the meat they had, and these Christians, remember, this was at a church, right, in their back room, and they opened the fridge, they had elk meat in there, they had of course, the pork chops in there, and some chicken in there, which the chicken's lawful to eat. But the elk and the pork. I was thinking to myself, why the hell are you guys having this meat here given out to people at the church? Just like you guys do know the Bible completely teaches against that. And they asked me, hey, you want some of this meat here? It's free. You can have some of this pork. And I was like, I'm good. I'm good. You guys can keep that. But I was
Wait,
thinking to myself, go ahead.
can you? Where was that again? This place?
It was at a church. They have a back room of the church that they have
Oh
a
no, dude! At church, yeah. But that's the thing, man. They will do that. Like, they will have a the
well, hey, look, I didn't mention the best
swine
part.
splash, and they will say, "God, please bless this food," and it's like,
Well,
did you
wait
read
a
the
second.
Bible, dude? Like, what?
Wait, let me finish real quick. I didn't I forgot to mention the best part of it, right? To keep it in simple terms. At holiday time, they have a get together at the church, right? And guess what? The main course meal that they have is a ham.
Ham? Like a ham
Yeah,
sandwich,
yeah,
or?
the ham, like the big round ham for Christmas time. That's what they
Oh,
have
okay.
as the main
Yeah.
course meal at the church for Christmas. Which celebrating Christmas is going off anyway. It tells you that in Jeremiah the 10th chapter. So they're cut
Yeah,
on that.
exactly.
But second of all, eating ham. It's like, you guys know the Bible teaches against that, right? So how the hell are you guys loving God? but you're out here literally disobeying what he told you about setting up a tree in your house and about eating this unlawful meat. I mean, again, it's
It's like,
amazing to me.
yeah, I just want to say that it's like I just talked about it with my sister, right? Who like she is a Christian, but then I told her about that because she just like was eating pork and shrimp, and I was like, didn't you know into like against the biblical text? And she was like, well, no, because in the book of Acts, or where was it, when Peter
Yeah,
saw
you're
the
talking about
unclean
Acts
meat.
10th chapter, Acts chapter 10.
Yeah, she brought it up, and then I explained to her that like that's about like not viewing people as common and unclean and respecting them, because Peter
Wait,
was
you know
about
what?
to speak
Pull
to
that verse
Gentiles.
up. Pull that verse up. You're talking about Acts chapter 10, verse 28.
Yeah,
The reason,
let's pull that up. Okay,
yeah. Now,
Acts.
real quick, while you're getting that, let me mention this. I had a coon the other day. He was in my comment board, and we were going back and forth on Acts the 10th chapter. And he mentioned, well, see, this means I can eat what I want because it's talking about food. But the problem is, if you read the whole thing in context, if you go down to verse 28, it says it's talking about not calling man common or unclean. So, I mean, this is
Yeah,
clearly
and
what it was talking
uh,
about.
I just want to say, yeah, I talked to with my sister about this, and I told her, that's what it means, explaining her the verse 20, or which one was it? No,
Verse 28, 28.
28, yeah. And then when I explained it to her, she was like, yeah, you're right. So I mean, she it's like she's going to church for how many years now? I think like 12 to 13 years, and she didn't even. And now I explained to her, she's like, oh yeah, yeah. But I bet you $100 that she will not, she, even though I told her that, she will still keep on eating pork, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Here, read that verse just for the audience who's listening.
The verse 28
Yes.
only. Okay, okay. And he said unto them, ye know that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one another nation, but God shewed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Right. So that verse clearly gives us the understanding of the chapter that when you read about the vision above, it was metaphorically speaking of not calling any man common or unclean. So again, if people go there,
Yeah, I
the
disagree with
argument
that.
is cut. But go ahead, Rude.
Oh yeah, I disagree with that.
I mean, you're welcome to
Just my
disagree, but
personal opinion.
Wait, so
I mean,
how would you explain that? Like it's talking about. n- I mean, it
Yeah, I'm
seems
just.
very
Rudy,
clear though.
we'll give
I
you the
mean, you have
floor
to
for a
read
few
the
minutes.
the
Rudy.
first
Go
the
ahead and give the breakdown.
yeah, you have to read like the first half of the story.
So let's read it from verse. Wait, okay, here, like verse 13, it says, and there came a voice unto him saying, rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, no, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. Then verse 15, and the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. So this was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. While Peter doubted in himself this wisdom which he had. Sorry.
All right, right. It's all right. You don't have to read that much.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. But
yeah, it's basically saying that Peter didn't when the Jesus in his vision said kill and eat, he's saying now that he doubted him saying that. So he
he
didn't
doubted.
so he
Yeah.
then thought that the vision was about people, not about killing and eating
No, but
animals.
the thing is, at this point, he didn't know what this vision meant. He later found out the interpretation that it was actually talking about people. But up here, where we're reading, he thinks it's talking about actual animals. But he finds out later that it was metaphorically speaking of humans. That's
Yeah,
the
so what do you think what do you think the voice is referencing when he's saying rise Peter, kill and eat? What is he saying to kill and eat?
well. Again, it's just a metaphorical example. It's not literal. He's not literally telling them to eat unlawful food because we find out later it was actually referring to people. But at the time, Peter followed
But
the
even,
dimension.
but hold on. But even if it was like real, not a metaphor, then and God would like clean it, because he said God what God hath cleansed, so he cleansed it. So you think like if, for example, God would cleanse the you know four-footed beast or whatever he was given in the vision,
Yeah,
then it
like
would be
all
lawful.
these this entire plate or table or something of unclean and clean animals mixed together. You said that you clean that. That's what the vision was of.
Wait, Rudy, are there any
Yeah,
unclean animals today?
So to eat or just like in general?
Like I'm saying in general, is there any unclean animal?
Are you saying like to eat like as in we
Well,
can't eat them
let's say
or
this. Let's say this. In the Bible, you can't eat a unclean animal, right? So let's just say in that context, is there an animal today that's considered unclean that we're not allowed to eat as a believer?
yes.
Okay, what is that?
Well, there's an unclean they're categorized as like bottom feeder type of animals
it,
in the sea and in the land. Wait, yeah, go ahead.
but I
Oh, I thought
saw.
Okay.
someone.
Do you remember that there's like unclean and hateful bird?
Yeah,
I just
that's what I was gonna lead him to if he said that there's not any. Revelation
I
18, I
really,
believe the top
it's
verse.
Revelation. Okay.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
in like
Revelation chapter 18, starting at the top, it mentions unclean and hateful bird.
Yeah, I like the I mean the way he wrote it, like the hateful bird. It's kind of funny. Uh,
yeah.
Mhm.
What is
Yeah.
wait? What do you think it means by hateful? Anyway,
hateful bird. Well, because maybe vultures, like vultures will literally eat your flesh
corpse.
when it's like bleeding. Yeah, yeah, corpses and stuff. So probably they're like hateful because they are feasting on dead human
Yeah, that's probably that makes
cadavers, right? So it's like death metal kind of thing too. Uh,
Yeah, that's a way to look at it. But again, the point is proven because it says unclean bird. So some people teach that there's no unclean animals today, but this is a cut right here because it says that there's a unclean bird that
oh,
lives
I
in
have
Babylon.
it. And he
So
cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, "Babylon is fallen and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." So it's Revelation 18:2,
yeah,
verse 2. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good verse on it because it proves that
But
there are
the
still unclean.
also it does refer to, so say for example, the frog, it says unclean spirit as in like a frog in Revelation, and
yeah,
that's
but that's more
so.
like of a figure of speech.
But
Well, you know something
is
interesting.
there do you know if ETT, do you know if frogs are considered unclean meat, right, according to Levitical law?
Yeah, according to the law, it would be considered unclean.
But did you know frogs taste like chicken?
I've heard
I tried it
people say
once.
that.
Yeah, yeah, I tried because in France, they eat that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been there once, like was near France, like on the border with Germany and France. And I was like, because my dad ordered it, and I was like, he was like, "Yo, try this." I was like, "Ah, man, it's disgusting." But
Here's a
he was like,
interesting.
he
Here's
told me it
something
tastes like
interesting for
chicken.
you.
Everybody
Did you
likes chicken.
know? Hold on, LP. Here's something interesting with the frog legs. I don't know if you've seen this before, but there's videos online because the legs still have nerves on them. People sprinkle salt on them, and then the legs start to move. You ever seen those videos before? It's interesting.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah,
Say it
yeah.
again.
Look it up on YouTube. If you look up frog legs moving, you'll see what I'm talking about. They pour table
Wait,
salt
dude,
on the frog legs, and they
there's gonna
start
be something
to move.
disgusting.
It's food, right? They're just uncooked.
Yeah,
You'll
but
see what I'm
it's still
talking about.
alive. Or, I mean, if it's still alive or no?
The frog's dead. The frog's
Oh,
dead. It's
okay, okay.
his legs are removed from the body.
Hey, hold on.
Like it's
Jay is asking me that. Is your sister pretty? Well, I mean, I would have to show you to judge for yourself, but anyway. So
Thought he was going to sleep or something.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Jay is like sometimes he commented at 4 a.m., but he said he's going to sleep at like 11 p.m. So I don't know. He usually when he says that he doesn't really mean that.
Probably
I
just
mean, well, shit,
trolling.
I'm set for today
Just
because I just set
I
up where I
like
was.
I was watching the Perry stream with Jay, and Perry was like, "Well, Jay, you're a professional internet troll," and he's like, "But how did you come to that conclusion?" Like, and Perry was like, "Well, it's really obvious."
Yeah,
Like it is obvious. Like I don't understand like how people think it's not obvious from all his 500 accounts and all that.
Yeah.
Hey, have you talked to Rage recently? ATT?
I've contacted him on a. I've contacted him on Discord. We're gonna set up a stream between me and him soon.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been really uploading much these days, but I
I
talked to
think
him on
I think
Facebook
he said
and
he's working. He's working right now, so that's why he doesn't do too much.
oh he did oh I didn't even he didn't tell
At
me that.
least,
He
at
didn't
least
tell
what
me
I
that.
take. At least what I take from our conversation, that's what I perceive he's doing based on our text back and forth.
I think he said
Yeah,
he's doing.
I know he's driving. Like he always messaging me, and he says he's saying like I'm driving, somewhere. So maybe he is doing something now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think he said he's doing drugs in the Discord. If I remember right.
Now that was just I know because I do talk to him a lot about like medication, and he does take like a medication for OCD or something. So it's a it's a medication. It's not like a heroin or whatever. It's a Prozac, if you know that that's an antidepressant. Uh, so
I think he
he's
said
taking.
heroin.
He said, "No, it's kratom." Well, he's taking kratom. Kratom is like what people take in instead of heroin. So it's
Oh,
not the same thing though. It's like a herb from South Asia or something. I don't even. I tried it once. It's not really doing anything for me. But Rage likes it. He's kind of addicted to it. So I mean, it's not really considered a drug, as in like heroin or cocaine. But he does take that. So maybe that's what he meant. Whether when Jay was saying, Rage is on drugs. So maybe that's what he referred to. You know.
yeah,
Yo,
probably.
LP, I'm gonna put the link to the video I'm talking about in the back chat. Check that out, man.
And I can should I share it on screen because I can't do that.
Yeah, let me remove the screen for just a second, just so your information.
It should be there now.
Yeah, it might not want to play this down, but if you fast forward a little bit, this is crazy here. The guy put a table salt on these frog legs, and then it like reacts with the nerves in it, and they start moving on their own. It's crazy.
Wait,
So
I'm
this
not
is
sure if does it share audio.
um. Regardless, leave the audio off because
Frog
I'm not
legs.
sure if he plays any copyrighted music or nothing.
This evening.
No, it doesn't have any music, so we're good.
Oh, that's very cool.
I'm gonna salt them up. It should twitch a little bit.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Are you able to hear the audio though?
Yeah, we hear it loud and clear.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Yeah, you'll see them. They start moving rapidly in a few moments. Just regular table.
What the hell?
Yeah. As I told you, man, this is crazy,
wow,
right?
they are really going.
Look at that.
The salt is real. Maybe
Oh, that's freaky.
causing
Oh man.
Ellen, check this out.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's
Well,
they call the
we're
dancing
getting it on
frog.
camera for posterity.
but you can see from how the meat looks like it even looks like raw chicken meat, right?
Right. That's how a chicken would look. So these
And
are
so I can confirm, it does really kind of taste like chicken, so
right.
Man. That's something.
Yeah, scientific reason why that happens. It's the salt reacting with the nerves of the in the legs, so that's why they move.
oh,
But
okay.
still interesting. It's interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? Like same thing with fish sometimes, right? Like sometimes, which I don't think we should show those videos because sometimes the fish are bloody, but sometimes the fish, when you start cutting them up after they've been killed, the body will still move.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
see that,
that's true. I've seen those. Yeah,
right?
dude, I'm gonna remove it. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's interesting though.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
Mhm.
only two. Jay has only two people watching because it's nighttime, right there in East Coast. Or
Yeah, it's 4:20 a.m. here.
damn, you're staying up late, so.
Well, I just got up a couple hours ago, so I'm set for
Oh
the
yeah,
day.
you said you slept daytime. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1 a.m. here.
Green,
In California, it's 1 a.m.
Green
Yeah.
Green said, the brother in the chat, Green said, snakes can still bite and move their body with their head detached. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Ironically enough, you mentioned that. I just watched a video the other day where the snake had its head cut off and it bit its own body and the body reacted. Yeah, you ever seen that video, LP?
No, but
Let me
wait.
see if
So he
let me
cut
see
his
if I can
own
find that.
head.
Let me look for that real quick. Hold on. Hopefully I can find this.
This
This is
reminds me
very
of one song that where it's about cutting off head and it's still being moving. Okay,
yeah.
found it. Yeah, I would like to see that.
All right. I think I found it here. Let me put it
So
in the back
if
chat. I seen this the other day. Let me
okay.
bear with me just a second. Yeah, exit out of the page and refresh it.
Oh, now
There.
it's better. What the hell, man? What the?
Yeah, look at that. Crazy, man.
Wait, so the head was still like alive, man? What
Yeah,
the?
yeah. Like say, I remember I've learned this years ago. If you ever see a snake head somehow detached from the body, you don't want to touch it because it could still be conscious and still bite you. Or even if it's dead, its
It's
nerves could still
crazy, bro.
react. Like say this, even if the snake's dead, it could still react to being touched and still bite you automatically, even though it's not alive. So even though
Do
that
you
body,
think
go ahead.
do you think like humans when they like get beheaded, the head can still move like a
Well,
few seconds?
here's well, I'd say based on my research on that, like even Vsauce mentioned this in the video before, that the human brain,
Jeez.
you still be conscious for like 3 or 4 seconds after you get your head cut off. Why?
So it could
Because
actually
the brain
technically
waits the
still
brain
move.
out. Yeah, that like I know there's an experiment they done with a guy on death row before. You can look this up on Wikipedia. You could probably find this. And what they told this guy, because again, he was condemned to die for his crimes anyway. So he partook in this scientific experiment. And when he was going to get his head cut off, they were going to like say his name or something, or he was supposed to blink to them if he was still conscious. And the guy did it when he got decapitated. He blinked a few times to them or responded to them saying his name by
That's
looking up at them. Well, yeah, I said earlier that it lines up with the prophecies because now we have two big wars going on in the world. You have the crisis in Ukraine, and now we have the situation in Israel going on. So those are two big conflicts that are happening right now.
and how's
Um,
that? What's the biblical
what's the
reference?
biblical reference?